think this lighting's okay. I hope so. The sun was literally out like 5 minutes ago and now it's not. So I'm going with the natural light like I usually am. Anyways, we're back, you guys, for another TBR, this time April. It's gonna be a great month. It's my birthday month. Very excited. But I'm also nervous because it needs to be a good TBR because it's my birthday month. So what else do I say? Oh, last month. This is how I did last month. I'm not gonna say it vocally right now because I have 2 left, but there's still a few days left of March and I need to start a new book today. And it might be one of the 2, haven't decided yet. But this is how March went. Honestly, went really good, even if I didn't read the 2 books. And I had like 2 5-star reads right in a row. Project Hail Mary and Hunt the Villain. So now I gotta go see the movie Project Hail Mary. Anyways, let's stop yapping, get right to the TBR. First prompt. I have quite a few books that I want to read this month, so I'm a little nervous. Okay. Can you even read that? Physical TBR jar. Also, I take every single prompt that I pick from the month before out of the jar, so it's never back in there again. However, some I have multiple of the same prompt in there because I kind of like the prompt. Like physical TBR jar, since I have a lot on my physical TBR jar. Dealer's choice, because I want to pick more than once in the year. There's just stuff like that. So I believe we've gotten this before, but it is not because I put it back in there. It's because I have a few in there, so. Let's go grab the physical TBR jar because I don't have it next to me. Okay, this is my physical TBR jar. If you saw one of my recent videos, I was reorganizing my physical TBR jar, did a mini unhaul of some books. So we have every single book I have physically that I need to yet read in this jar. And I only have the series name in here because some books I'm in the middle of a series. Some... Let's see what this is. What does it focus? What does it say? Sparrowfall series. Oh my god, that's this, isn't it? Okay, so Sparrowfall series is Catherine Cowell's. The first book is Fragile Sanctuary, which is on my 2026 TBR. So this is kind of perfect. I feel like April's a good time to read this too, because look how this is giving beginning of spring vibes, at least the cover is ish, because of, you know. Anyways, I'm really excited about this one. That's why it's on my 2026 TBR. Okay. So I know there's like mystery aspects to this from what I've been told because I really enjoyed the Eden series by Devney Perry. And I was like, and if you don't know, it's a romance series, but there's a lot of mystery aspects in it. And so it's like a mystery romance mystery. And I really enjoyed it. And I was like, I need more. And my friend said that this series has a lot of mystery to it. So I'm really looking forward to this. But this one, I believe, is Brother's Best Friend? Yes, Brother's Best Friend. And he's the new contractor working on her house. I don't know too much about it, but I'm really excited. I've heard great things about this series. So, first book of April. Ah, that's so good. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, we're going to stick with 5 prompts again because I'm kind of liking the 5 better than the 6. I feel less pressure, even though I still don't finish the TBRs. Let's pick this one. Is it upside down? It might be. That might be it. I can't tell. Yeah. Oh, okay. It says dark romance. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Do I have any dark romances on my 2026 TBR? No. There's a dark romance coming out March 31st. It'll be out by the time you see this video, and it is a new release. If not, let me see what other ones I have, because I have some I'm in the middle of, and some I've been looking into reading. Okay, so I have 3 options. One I have physically, one I haven't bought physically yet, because I want to read it on Kindle first, because it's available on KU, and the third one comes out the March 31st, as I just said. So the one I have physically is Leather and Lark. I'm in the middle of the series. I read Butcher and Blackbird sometime last year. I liked it. I think I gave it a 3.5. And I need to continue the series / finish the series, so there's definitely this as an option. The other option, another option I should say, is Insatiable by Lee Rivers. I've heard so many good things about that lately. It keeps coming up and I'm really intrigued by it. So that's also an option. And then the third option is Game On from Navessa Allen, which comes out March 31st. So those are my 3 options. Because both Leather and Lark, is Game On the last of the series for Navessa Allen? That I actually don't know. Because I could complete a series with that or continue the series with this. I think those are going to be my 2 options. I think I might go with Game On because I'm very intrigued by it. So I'm probably going to read it right away. Almost right away once I get it because it comes out the day before April. So I think we're going to do Game On. Navessa Allen. Yay! Prompt number 3. I have so many good prompts in here. But I have more prompts than months of TBR picking. So there's some I'm just never going to get to and I'm very upset about it. Let's go with this one. It really wants to focus on my face. Okay. Dealer's Choice. Usually I'm really excited about that, but right now I'm like, oh no. Oh, I know what I want. I know. Okay. Hold on, let's take a breath before I like pass out or something. I have so many next reads I want to get to. Let me pull the ones I have physically. I don't know what to choose. I'm gonna give you 3 options. You're not gonna be able to choose because I'm choosing obviously Dealer's Choice, but I don't know which one to do. So first is Silvery Lead, Danny Francis. Book 2 comes out in May. So I could read this towards the end of April. But there's also time to read it in the beginning of May because it comes out May 12th, I believe. So I'd have 11 days beforehand to read this. So I could read this beginning of May. So that's always another option. I'm really intrigued by this book. Oh my god, there's also... Oh, sorry. There's so many new releases. There's 3... books that I'm very much like such high anticipated reads and they all come out on April 7th, which is insane. Anyways, next up, Crash Test by Amy James. So this one I know is an MM romance Formula 1. One of them is in Formula 1 and the other one is in Formula 2, which is the one right below Formula 1. If you don't know Formula 1 stuff. But the Formula 2 driver gets into like this massive car crash. They're dating, by the way. They're already dating, seeing each other, something of the sorts. But nobody knows. And the F2 driver gets into like a massive crash and it's kind of dealing with like the fallout of that. I really, really want to read this. But I'm also might start this one today, so we'll see. And then the 3 new releases that come out on April 7th. Are Unbound, Peyton Curran, Writes a Starling, Devney Perry, and Writer Jessica Peterson. I think I'm gonna put one of those on there. I think I might do Writes a Starling because that has got to be one of my most anticipated reads of the year. Shield of Sparrows is the first book in the series and it's so freaking good. I listened to the graphic audio version of the audiobook already for Shield of Sparrows to like refresh my memory and I'm just so excited for it. So I think we're gonna have to go with not Shield of Sparrows, Writes a Starling, which is the second book to Shield of Sparrows. Oh my god. I need to stop putting new releases on my TBR, but like I'm very much looking forward to this and this is Dealer's Choice. Anyways, let's pick the next prompt. Okay, pretend there's 3 books here. 2 of them I don't have physically yet. So 4th prompt, I'm really trying to get the bottom ones. Okay. I don't know if I focused. I think it did. Shortest book on TBR. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. How do I want to do this? Because shortest book on TBR. I could do the shortest book on my 2026 TBR, or I could just do the shortest book overall because probably 96% of the books I have are on my TBR. Book buying problem. Anyways, so do I want to do the shortest book on my physical TBR, or my TBR as a whole, or the 2026 TBR? Let's see. I'm going to look through these and see what's the shortest book on here, and we'll see if that determines where we're picking from. Okay, with the help of Maddie, I've decided that I'm gonna pick this prompt for my 2026 TBR since I really need to get going on this. I've read like 3 books out of the 26. So we're gonna pick shortest book on my 2026 TBR. Since I didn't specify, I can bend the rules. So I have books on the 2026 TBR that are books that aren't out yet. The ones that come out in April are Rider, Rights of Starling. Just those two. Rights of Starling and Rider. However, I thought Rider was gonna be the smallest book, but it's not. It's one of these two. Technically, one of them is a 1-page difference between these two. One of them, this Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune, is 307 pages, and The Naturals is 308. No joke. I kind of stopped looking at the pages once it hits the acknowledgements. So these are the 2 options, and we're getting, let's see, what do I have on my, so far we have a romance, we have a fantasy, and a dark romance. So I really could go either way. Technically, if we're going by the prompt, this one's the shortest. So I think we might just go with Meet Me at the Lake. I can't believe it's a 1-page difference. Yeah, I think we're gonna go with Meet Me at the Lake. We've already been through rules with whether it's 2026 or my entire TBR, so. Okay, I kind of want to do 6, but I also got to keep in mind, oh my god, I'm going on a Europe trip with one of my best friends towards the end of April, and I'm really excited. So I should read the books that aren't available on KU before that, because I'm not bringing any physical books. I'm just going to bring my Kindle, since I'm going to be packing very late. I should have kept that in mind to begin with, but this one's on KU. Meet Me at the Lake isn't on KU, which is fine. I'll figure it out later. Let's pick the next prompt. Depending on what this is, I might just say go back to 6 for the month, just because, you know, birthday. And I've already picked new releases that I'm guaranteed to read, so I might go for 6. Sorry, I like froze when I picked the one. Can you read it? It's all bent up and weird, but it says book starts with a K. That's perfect. Caitlin starts with a K. It's my birthday month. That's insane. This is so exciting. Okay, let's pick up some that start with a K. Also, before that, if the word the comes up before then, we're counting it as a book that starts with a K. Because at libraries and bookstores, they put the last. At least that's what I was taught in school. So, book that starts with a K, let's gather some. You know, finding books that start with a K might be harder than I anticipated. I found one so far. This is actually more difficult than I thought. Okay, I have 3 options physically. I almost forgot this third one. Like, it almost went right over my head, which is funny because it's literally sitting right behind me, or was, until now. First option is Night and the Moth, Rachel Gillick. My only hold off about this is that the second book comes out in September. So I want to read this closer to that so I don't forget about it. So I kind of want to read this in August. So I think that's what we might do. Also, look, the pink is so pretty and I love these pages. I wish more books were like that. I think it's so cool. I don't remember what it's called. But I think I'm going to save this for like August so I don't forget everything before the next book comes out. Next option is, we're ignoring A because I was very limited on my choices. A Kingdom of Stars and Shadows. This is book 1 of this series. I think there's 4 books by Holly Renee. I've heard pretty good things about this. I only have the first book physically. It's also available on KU, which is a plus. This would be another fantasy to add. And then the last option is King of Envy by Anna Huang. I have yet to read it. I've read every book up to this one, and I've heard great things about King of Envy. But I've just haven't picked it up yet. It wasn't my 2025 TBR, and I did not get to it, clearly, because it's still on the TBR. And the next book, King of Gluttony, comes out in April when I'm in Europe. So I'm not going to buy it until I get back. But I do need to read this one before getting the King. Why am I having a stroke? So I need to read this before King of Gluttony, obviously. I've heard really good things about it. I just don't know why I haven't read it yet. So I think we're definitely going to pick one of these two since I'm trying to work on the physical TBR. But I don't know which one. The length difference. But it also, I guess it just depends if I want a fantasy or a romance. Because right now I have 2 romances, a dark romance, and a fantasy. Let me read what this is about because I actually don't remember or know. Betray a kingdom or betray my heart. My union with the crown prince. Oh, is this an arranged marriage? My union with the crown prince will determine the fate of the kingdom, but it isn't my betrothed who haunts my dreams. Oh! It's the half-baked bastard who stands at his side. Wait a minute. He is darkness and sin, and when he whispers wickedness in my ear, I crave a man I can't have. Every thought I have is treasonous. The way my hands ache to touch him, deceitful. Even my dreams make me a traitor to the kingdom I am sworn to protect. But when our kingdom is attacked, I am forced to make a choice and face a bitter truth. For our lies and deception are entangled in the shadows and stars. As they unravel, so shall my fate. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh my god, it's also signed. Ah, I didn't know that. Crazy. I might do this. Oh my god, there's artwork in here. I might just do this. Get another fantasy in there. I think we're gonna do that. Insane. Okay, I think we might pick one more. Just because we can. I can't guarantee I'll get much reading done because of my Europe trip, but we're gonna pick another one, I think. I know I said I'm going on a Europe trip, so I don't know how much I'll be able to read, but we are going to multiple countries, so we will be traveling a decent amount, so I could read a lot of the times during then. So we're gonna pick one more because we can. Orange cover. Do I have any orange covers? I know for sure ones I do, they aren't the first book in a series. Let's look behind me first off. That's more red than orange. The swimsuit's in that. That's yellow. I don't know if I have any orange covers of books I need to read yet. Oh, let's look down here. This would help. I guess I do have orange. Hold on. I have a ton of orange. What are we on about? Okay, so we have quite a few options. More than I was expecting. Oh, and I'm in conflict. So these first 2, I don't really know if they're orange per se, but they're like orange adjacent. First, Warrior Princess Assassin. It's more like a peach, but peach is kind of orange. That might be a stretch. I don't know. Let me know what you think, but... Or peach is more like it's like a pink orange. I don't know. I'm just I just wanted a fantasy book in here, and this was one of the closest ones. Same with The Damned. You can argue it's red, but to me it's like an orangey red, because the first book of the series, The Cursed, is very red. So you could argue this is orangey red. I wanted fantasy options in here, but I had to stretch it a little bit because all the other fantasy books are either ones I've read or are in the middle of series I have not started. So, and off to the romances. First, we have Rider, Jessica Peterson, that comes out April 7th. This could be a guaranteed TBR checkoff because I plan to read it around the time it comes out. I think I'm going to read Rise of Starling first before Rider. We'll see. Because those come out the same day. Same with Unbound. 3 of your most anticipated reads being released on the same day is hard. Because which one do you read first? Anyways. And then I have 4 romances. The first one is Something Wilder, Christina Lauren. Clearly, there's orange in the middle. It's a literal sunrise or sunset. Whichever one. Next, we have Promise Me Sunshine by Cara Bastone. I've heard great things about this book. I know there's a lot of grief involved in this, so I'm really intrigued by that. I kind of... Grief topics in romance books is very interesting to me, and I'm very intrigued by this book. And then we have Daddy Issues, Kate Goldbag. Another great option. I've been wanting to read this for some time. I know it's single dad. I don't want to say she's nanny, but she might be. I know they're neighbors. And then lastly, If It Makes You Happy, Julia Olivia. However, this is very, very fall vibes, so I might not do this one. But I really, really want to read it this year, but more around the fall time. But I just think it's such a pretty cover, so I had to choose it as an option anyways. So let's see, I feel like by picking writer, I'm cheating, but I know I'm gonna read it anyways. And I am adding a 6th book for funsies, even though I know I'm leaving in like end of mid-April for this trip. I think I might cheat and go with writer because of all this reasons I just said. With being gone, it's on KU, or it's gonna be on KU. It'll just be easier for me to read that because I know I'm gonna want to read it. So I'll probably read it before I even go on the trip because it comes out early April. So I think we're gonna add that. Alrighty, so we picked 6 books. I only have 3 physically at the moment. So let's go over every single one. First prompt was physical TBR jar, and we picked Sparrow Fall series, and I've on the first book of the series, so Fragile Sanctuary, Catherine Cowles. The second book was a dark romance, and I chose Game On by Nevessa Allen. The third prompt was Dealer's Choice. I chose Rights of Starling, which I also don't have physically yet. And then the next one was the shortest book on your TBR, and I modified it to my 2026 TBR. And it ended up being Meet Me at the Lake, Carly Fortune. And then the next prompt was a book that starts with a K, and I chose A Kingdom of Stars and Shadows by Holly Renee, ignoring the A. And then the last prompt was an orange cover, and we chose Writer by Jessica Peterson. I'm very excited for these books. Most of them are pretty short books, besides Rights of Starling. I know that's going to be a thick book. But Game On I know is not going to be that big if we're comparing it to the other books. And then Rider I know is going to be a nice and easy short book comparing it to the other books in the series. So I think we have a good chance of getting through these this month if I can read most of them before my trip. Fingers crossed. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what's on your TBR or what's your most anticipated release for the month. Let me know down below. That is all. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.